Another territory under the claw of the dragon. One step closer to claiming the whole prize. Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Sengoku Basara. So, I'm faced with a tough choice here. Do I want to fight Kenshin or do I want to fight Ieyasu? I really don't want to fight Kenshin. I think I'll go for Ieyasu and hope that just hope that the Maeda take out Iwasaki after that, and they probably will. So I actually do not know what city this is supposed to take place in, what region. I can't remember what the actual proper historical Japanese term for it is, but I'll look it up when I'm done here. So we're up against Tokugawa Ieyasu and his army. They're actually not all that strong. I know in the anime he was allied essentially with the Devil King Oda Nobunaga, and that put him in a very awkward place because he's not all that strong by himself. Now he does have aid of a particular ally which is very formidable. We'll be fighting him soon, but he didn't really have a whole lot to fight with, and so the allies try to kind of reason with him to not fight on that side, and because he's fighting a losing battle, and he'll be forced to do some unspeakable things under the control of the Devil King. So there's one commander unit here at this gate, and as soon as we break through this gate, we'll have a boss fight. And it's one hell of a boss for such an early part of the game. We have to fight the finest warrior in the land, Honda Tadakatsu. And he's referred to as Iron Ox in Devil Kings. And he is Ieyasu's sort of right hand. And he is extremely powerful. Look at this thing! He's a freaking mech samurai. Giving him some nicknames as Gundam Samurai or Hondam Tadakatsu, whatever. He is incredibly powerful, and he can just savage you right away and just take out your health really quickly on ultimate difficulty. So we want to be very careful. Notice I have War Dance on, and with the electric damage, he's pretty much stun locked, so there's pretty much nothing he can do. I want to keep pushing him back towards where we started on the map instead of further into the map where other enemies can engage us, because I really don't want to get hit and lose my War Dance, because then he can counter me, and I really don't want that. My Basara attacks are not going to be all that useful because he can potentially dodge them if I stop to use it, so I pretty much should just keep hitting him like I am, and there's really not a whole lot he can do, but I trust you, he's very tough, and fighting him as other characters is really not going to be very easy at all. I may actually edit out part of this fight, though, because it's going to last for a very, very long time. I might be fighting this guy for 10 minutes, honestly. I mean, you see how long it's taken me just to decrease his health this much? He is also Electric Elemental. He has the most health of any character in the game, and he's pretty much unstoppable. He, in Devil Kings, because there are so many fewer playable characters, after you beat the campaign once as any character, you unlock him. In this version of the game, though, you have to play as every character to unlock him, so he's very, very powerful. And he's meant as sort of a reward character for completing as everybody else, and you can just kind of go ham after that. There we go, I did a little bit of editing there to decrease the length of this fight. He's almost dead now. Like I said, there's really nothing he can do because he's pretty much stun locked. It just takes a long time, it's very tedious. We got a good character to counter him, but a lot of other characters do not do well against him, so you really have to make a decision right at the start of this map. And I pretty much made the decision with Masamune, we're going to fight Tadakatsu. With other characters, I may choose to avoid him, but the problem is, especially in ultimate difficulty, is if you avoid him, he's just going to follow you endlessly to the end of the map, and eventually you'll be fighting him and Ieyasu at the same time. So, that's really not beneficial either. So my Yukimura test run, I think I skipped fighting him until we got to Ieyasu, and then I was just fighting them both in the same place, and I had to kill him anyway, so it was really inconvenient. So fighting him there, he doesn't come back, so it's best to just get him out of the way early, and then try to recover your health in time to fight Ieyasu, because Ieyasu is kind of a pushover, as you might imagine, especially if you know the character. So, obviously, because the game is not translated, I can't say how much of this is spoken in the game, but in the anime, he refers to himself as a Mikawa warrior, and he goes by another name like Takeda Shingen refers to him as Takechio, and I guess that maybe that's his name, and Ieyasu Tokugawa is just a clan name, or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it is interesting how it played out, because he basically had to talk. He refers to Takeda Shingen as sort of his idol, and his inspiration, his role model. So he hopes that one day he can be equally as powerful. And he's honestly kind of a shrimpy little wimp in the first season of Basara, in the first 2 games here. But oh, how that will change as time goes on. If anybody knows anything about the real Sengoku period of actual history, the Tokugawa won. The Tokugawa won against everybody else, and after Nobunaga and all them were done, he was the one that actually, if I remember correctly, actually did unite the warring states and put an end to the Sengoku era. So that's pretty powerful right there. Right now I'm just trying to clear off everything else that's on the map here. These spinning guys, I don't really know what they're called, but they have the giant battering ram weapons, and trying to just let their attack go through, and you can pretty much one-shot them with Magnum Step if you get close enough on them. But yeah, like I said, when you play this map, every other time I play this map, you pretty much make a decision right away. Are you going to fight Tadakatsu or not? And usually I recommend fighting him, because the times that I tried to avoid him, I ended up having my ass handed to me and then having to fight him either at the end, or I just lost, and I would have had to basically avoid this map in favor of the other map, and basically have this land get taken over by somebody else. Unless it doesn't work out that way. Usually he doesn't try to take over the other lands. He has very bad luck with that. I've never really seen him take over more than a single land, but it's random, so eventually it'll happen if you play the game enough. There's never really a rivalry with these characters in the anime, so having Masamune fight him really doesn't make as much sense. Yukimura gets to fight Tadakatsu, so I may do this map again when I do Yukimura, we'll see. But for most of the other characters I'm planning to play as, I plan to avoid this map if I can. Yeah, it's pretty much just a straight shot, and when I do decide to avoid fighting Tadakatsu, it's basically a sprint to get through every, I pretty much just skip every minor enemy, and just kill the captain units on the way to the checkpoints. And as soon as you unlock that green barrier up there on the upper right of the map there, you're pretty much set to go straight to Ieyasu. There's one last gate there at the end, but you're going to reach that gate eventually no matter what. So I should have another weapon for Masamune, I believe, by now, his ultimate weapon, so I can probably swap over after this map. These weapons are doing fine, but I may want to become a little bit more powerful before I take on I keep forgetting their name, the Maeda. I'm really tired, guys. You gotta forgive me. But yeah, the Maeda are really who I'm worried about right now the most. Like the maps I've been fighting so far have been mere child's play compared to what I'm dreading with the Maeda map, unfortunately. But the fact that they've taken over so many other lands really doesn't matter, because we still have to fight them on their home ground. We'll talk about that more when we get there. And of course, the Tokugawa have a Ninja Corps, because who doesn't have a Ninja Corps of Shinobis in this game? They have some interesting attacks that I didn't demonstrate earlier. The one guy, he'll turn into like a little scroll and then he'll pop up again. And you can easily telegraph that and counter it, especially if you have War Dance, because you have such a greater reach. Yeah, Masamune is kind of broken in that way, but it's a good way to. It's a good starting character for Ultimate difficulty, I feel like. Also, like I said, Tadakatsu is playable in both versions of the game, even though he's not the main boss of this level. But Ieyasu himself is not playable in this game at all, whether it be in the Devil King's version or the original version. He's not playable. We're basically good to go here. We have 2 full bars for our Basara gauge. Oh crap, these guys. That's a little unpleasant. I may want to get past them with Magnum Step real quick. I don't want to take any chances. These guys can really eat up my health with that. And this guy wanted to run into my Basara attack, so if we kill him, we can just go straight through the gate and skip all these ninjas. I really don't want to bother with them. Okay, and maybe I have to. Oh, the game just deleted them for some reason. I was like, okay, I guess I have to fight them because the gate's not opening in time, but the game just decided to get rid of them for me. That was awfully nice of it. This is it may not seem like it, but this is a pretty small map. It's really not that much distance you have to cover from the beginning to be able to get to Ieyasu. Again, I wish I knew what region this was, what state this is, essentially, because again, in the anime, he is it's a very different story, but I'll be making parallels to the anime whenever I can. But the games have a radically different story, and I'd like to keep that in mind whenever I mention the anime. So I'm not a purist as far as the anime story goes. I like both, but I like to make parallels whenever I can. But I'll try to be careful about when and where I do. But anyway, he's like I said, he's allied with Nobunaga, and he doesn't really stay at his home territory. You only see him for that one fight, and he's kind of set up somewhere already as he's set up at a choke point, so you never really get to see him in his home territory. So yeah, this is Ieyasu Tokugawa. Not too much to say about him. He wields this strange pole arm, and I really don't know what to make of it. He has very, very similar melee movesets to... I think he actually has the same melee movesets as another character. I can't think of who, though. It's not Maeda Toshie. It might actually be Maeda Toshie, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks very familiar. He doesn't... I've never really seen him use his secondary attacks, though. He's already half dead. There's only one man I know that can wield a spear that well and get me fired up. And he certainly is not you. Yeah, he's also electric elemental, as you can see. So our element doesn't really do anything advantageous. And like all the bosses on Ultimate Difficulty, there's a certain... One of the modifiers for Ultimate Difficulty is the likelihood that a boss will be able to dodge your Basara attack. And as you can see, it's pretty high here, because he's evaded it several times now. I don't think he'll be able to dodge this, and then he does. Spoke too soon. Alright, we're done here, boys. Let's move out. Next stop, Kaga.
Masamune.